Hi, and welcome to Meet the Candidates 2013, a voter education program brought to you by the Shakopee Chamber of Commerce. My name is Angie Whitcomb. Our hope is that these candidate profiles and interviews will help you, the voter, understand your choices when it comes to the 2013 election. We ask voters to arm themselves with the information necessary to make educated choices and to get out the vote on November 5th. Please visit the Chamber website to find out information about future candidate debates, as well as polling hours and locations. And thank you for making the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau your election information resource. Hi, and welcome to Meet the Candidates 2013, a voter education program brought to you by the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau. My name is Angie Whitcomb, and today I am joined by Shakopee School Board candidate Chuck Berg. Chuck, thanks for joining me here today. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, pleasure to be here.
Thanks. Well, why don't you tell the audience at home just a little bit about yourself and why you decided to run for school board?
Well, Angie, I was on the school board before. I served 2 terms on the school board, leaving only because I was taking over a rather large job as district governor for Rotary for most of southern Minnesota. And I just didn't feel that I could do my best job and be district governor at the same time. And so I had to give my life to Rotary, so to speak, for a couple of years. And now I have the time to do the job and finish it and do it well. So I decided I'm going to put my hat back on the ring and start to work for the citizens of Shakopee and to bring their kids a great education as well. I'm from Shakopee. I've lived here for a little over, 46 years now, I guess. Not exactly a lifetime resident, but enough that, Tices and Wormuskirchen and the like actually think that I am, and I can spell Bergaman. So.
There you go. Well, that qualifies you then for sure.
There you go.
Okay, so Chuck, in your view, having served on the school board, now hoping to serve again, what has the district done well over the last 5 years? And what has the district done that you think, if elected, you would focus on changing or improving upon?
In the last 5 years, we have certainly just come out of a very tough economy. And in Shakopee, that was right on the heels of some explosive growth. And the school district did a wonderful job of managing that growth and staying just ahead of it enough that we had the schools built when the kids were ready to get into those schools. And we started along the process of actually starting to raise our test scores, improve the education for our kids, and we've really seen that borne out because over the last 3 years those test scores have risen in relation to the state. We are no longer in quite as bad an economy, but we see that next growth spurt coming up, and now it's really important to not only manage that growth, but also manage that growth in our student results as well.
Great. So what are the outputs that matter most to you? And if re-elected to the school board, how will you be accountable for them as a school board member?
Well, the outputs first and foremost are going to be student achievement. That's what we're there for. It's a constitutional right that every child in Minnesota is going to get a good education. And that's what it needs to be. It needs to be an education that's going to prepare them for life. Accountability, for me, is a little bit different than, quite honestly, maybe it's several of the other school board members. I own my own business here in Shakopee, have for a little over 15 years now. I see people every day, either in my business, at volunteer activities, within the schools. I'm no longer a parent of a child in the schools, but everybody in Shakopee is a stakeholder. And I see them day in, day out. When people aren't happy with the job that you're doing, especially when you own a business, it can actually affect your livelihood and not just the comments you might get on the street. So the accountability is always there and it should be there.
Great. So in the governance of a school district, whose interests should matter the most and in what ways should they matter?
I mentioned that before. Certainly student achievement is indeed first, so we have a responsibility and a duty to our students to give them a great education. So those are our first stakeholders. An obvious second stakeholder are the parents of those kids. But we educate from the age of 2 in some of our preschool programs all the way up to 102 through our community education programs. And everybody's a stakeholder. The money that we pay in taxes to fund our schools are paid by all, not just by parents, not certainly by the kids, but by everybody in this community. And it's important to every generation that the ones following them get the same good quality education that they received. It's only fair.
Great. So Chuck, how does a school board balance the need to provide a quality education for the student with the need to respond to the local taxpayer burden?
I don't know if it's as much a matter of balancing. You absolutely have to provide that high quality education. Yeah, there's going to be a burden on the taxpayer, even if you don't have growth. Having the growth actually helps quite a bit, and has helped Shakopee as we've added schools. We've actually seen some of the tax burden go down per capita. But you don't balance that. You make sure that you provide high quality education. And school districts are unique in that they have to go to the voters often for operating levies or to build a school. So they have that built-in accountability. And when it's time to change a levy amount or when it's time to build a school, they go in front of the voters and they make that case. So it really comes down more to providing good, transparent communication and making sure that you are showing that there's value for the money that they are spending. So it isn't as much a matter of balancing, but just ensuring that the value is there for the taxpayer's burden.
Great. Well, Chuck, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for joining this edition of the 2013 Meet the Candidates, brought to you by the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau. Please be sure to check out the Chamber's website at shakopee.org for all information leading up to the November 5th, 2013 election.